Welcome back to YouTube. E-celebs are the greatest people on the planet. Fact-checking is for fools, and when you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're Keemstar. Welcome to Crow of Judgment. And today, I want to talk about this interesting tweet that was put out by Keem last night. And it was entitled tagging H3 Projections, Ethan Klein, and in it Keem makes a very outrageous claim, and it is so outrageous that it is very easily debunked, and we will go through it being debunked. But let's go ahead and play the video. It's only about a minute and a half long, and I kind of want to let you guys hear just how insane his reasoning is as to what terrible things Ethan Klein has done. Anyways, guys, before we begin today, please drop a like on this video, leave a comment even if that comment is, Crow, stop asking us for comments, only ask us for subscriptions, and when you're done leaving that comment begging for a subscription, why don't you just do yourself a favor and hit subscribe to the channel. Now, full disclosure before we jump into this right now, I do want to say I don't like Keem, I don't like H3 Ethan Klein. I just do not like either of these individuals. I think there was a time when they were kind of in touch with the people that they were making content for, and now they are just, you know, D-list celebrities. Not to knock on them, not to say they're not popular, but I mean, they have the persona of a D-list celebrity who believes that they are far more important than they actually are. And with all that said, now that you know that I think both of these men are jackasses, let's go right into it.
Hi, Ethan Klein. I see that you've uploaded this video talking about the FUPA and that you've used all the money and that's why FUPA went bankrupt and that's why nobody else can use the FUPA fund. Nobody else has access to the money for fair use because you used it all for your lawsuit, right?
So, just to be clear, the FUPA fund is the Fair Use Protection Act, as far as I understand it. Keep playing the video, just want to give you some important context there.
Sorry, guys. That's what the purpose was for my lawsuit. But I seem to remember this game. What was the name of that game? I think it was Payday 2 that is available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
At this point, I would like Keemstar to just get to the fucking point rather than playing these stupid little fucking games, but it's Keemstar. So, dramatics.
Steam, Windows PC. This game's out everywhere where there was a DLC, an H3 DLC, and I believe the developers said that they would give you 100% of the proceeds for the lawsuit. Now, I, as a person that's made games, released them on Xbox Live, released them on Steam, knows a little bit something about DLC and, you know, like, shit, these Fortnite guys, how much money they're making with their creator code, and they're only getting 5%, and this developer from Payday told you that he was going to give you 100% of the money made on the fucking DLC, because, you know, those network, or those platforms, they have to take, like, their 30 or 20%, so that's, like, 70% of the gross revenue of this DLC from Payday 2, this AAA game. That had to have been a lot of money. How come that wasn't mentioned at all in this video? I'm just curious. Please answer my question, because, I find it a little strange that you didn't include that. It was a big source of money for the lawsuit.
Go on.
Actually, so I guess let's try answering Keemstar's questions. And you know, I've never made a video game or done any DLC. So I don't have any experience with this stuff, and I don't think many of the people responding to Keemstar have too much experience with this stuff. And yet, let's go into the very first point. Payday 2, well, not a bad game by any means or measures or anything. Payday 2 is nowhere near the level that Fortnite is. Fortnite has kind of taken over. Right? It is a massive game. I go to work sometimes and I'll see like the manager and he's playing Fortnite on his cell phone and he gets so distracted he does not know people are watching him do this. I mean, it is legitimately everywhere. Now, more to his point of this DLC. Now, why wouldn't Ethan Klein have all this money from this Payday 2 DLC? DLC is still a pretty big game. Well, interesting point made by at BraMoment77, DKB main. The DLC is only available on PC, not any of the other platforms mentioned. Payday 2 is not a AAA game, the company behind it is bankrupt and was never that rich or mainstream. The DLC released after the lawsuit, and Ethan therefore didn't get all the money. So, I mean, these would be important points. Now, first off, again, Payday 2 is nowhere near the level that Fortnite is, but more importantly, it only released on PC. So none of those other gaming consoles that Keemstar was bringing up have any relevance to the claim he's making, because the DLC did not launch for those platforms. It was strictly for PC. Now. There was a Twitter user who goes, who said that after the lawsuit, the money from the DLC sales didn't still go to them. And Payday 2 is one of the biggest games on Steam when it came out. The company made a bad mistake and went under, but they were not what I would consider a small indie studio. I mean, these are not bad points that this user made. It was a very big game when it launched. Here's the problem. It was in November 2017 when the DLC was actually made available. So the same Twitter user at BraMoment, but the DLC released in November 2017 when the player base was 37,000. So at best, they would have sold around 37,000 copies of the DLC. That's being generous. And here we go. You can see here, yeah, November 2017, 37,000, 36, 32. So it progressively just kept declining. Now, the thing is, I don't think that we even need to have this discussion, but I really doubt, I strongly doubt that all 37,000 people there would suddenly buy the DLC that was dedicated to H3H3. Now, more importantly, let's say that they did, right? Because, Keem seems to think there have been like millions of dollars involved here. So let's get out the old handy dandy calculator. They got 37,052 times 5. Would have been $185,260. Now, that's assuming that they actually sold to all 37,000 people playing on Steam, which I just doubt entirely. I doubt that it even got half of that amount. But now we're not even, we're not even talking $250,000. We're saying like best case scenario, 185 grand, right? Worst case scenario, we say that a third of the people, right? A third of the people. Now you're looking at $62,000. This is not a lot of money. Keemstar made a very stupid statement here, attempting to drag H3H3. Now, and guys, regardless of what you think of either of these individuals, regardless of what you think of Keem, regardless of what you think of Ethan Klein, I think I've been pretty clear. I think they're both kind of jackasses. No one needs to defend them. No one needs to really run any sort of defense for either individual. But, Keem oftentimes makes these outlandish claims about others. And it is a little annoying because there was a time when Keemstar was somewhat entertaining, and now it's just now it's just a dude who runs his mouth off like a complete jackass and is oftentimes not only grossly incorrect, but will then continue to double down and triple down and quintuple down on being wrong, and then insult people on Twitter. Now, I didn't really see that happen this time, but gosh, it is annoying because as much as I might not like H3H3, if Keem goes out with this boneheaded claim, and people watching Keem aren't even going to check into it, because I've definitely seen people just running with what Keemstar is saying, You're really discrediting the Ethan Klein being a jackass now.